Besid Daled, Besidr, Daf Kuf Mem Ches, Sof Amud Daled. It's brought in the Sidr. V'zeu v'haya ki yavicha Hashem et l'eretz haKanani chulu. And this is that the explanation of the pasuk. And it will be when Hashem will bring you to the land of the Canaani and so forth. Matzos yochel es shivas hayamim. You should eat the matzah for the 7 days. Zayin hayamim him zayin hamidus da'aba. That the 7 days are the 7 attributes of Abba. Yuchal lahamshich behem mishefa Abba. That you should draw into them from the flow of Abba. Vayikra yuchal derech nimtzau dvarcha v'ochlem. And it's called you will eat them, I will find your words and eat them, perhaps like the Megillah that Yechezkel ate. No. Perek Beis Gimel of Yechezkel. Mitzvah achilas matzah kara laila diyom harishon. And the main mitzvah of eating matzah is the first night, Chinas Chesed, Shukol Kol Hazayin Midos, which is the concept of kindness, that includes the other 7 emotional attributes of Za in it. Chesed includes them all, therefore the main mitzvah is the first night. And it says on the bottom, Bishulei Ha'amud, so it just brings the proper page number from the Siddur Imdach, but Tzos Kahasvich, Ches Tzadik, Amud Beis, where it brings this. Back in the Mamar, so it says Yoma Mitzaveh Hashem Chasto, that in the day Hashem commands His kindness, the Azilim Kulhu Yamin, that the day, the first day of kindness goes with all the days. It includes in it all the days of the week. Zohar Chilek Gimel, Kufnun Beis, Ach Iker Bechina Zu Zehu Or Makif Shelo. But the main concept here is its encompassing light, V'lo Keshu Or Pnimi Levad, and not only when it's an inner light. So if when you eat the matzah, it's only an inner light, but you also have an encompassing light here, and that's why it says that the pillar of cloud will not go away, that the cloud is the surrounding concept that was there during Yetzias Mitzrayim. V'nei Moshe ve'Aaron shosham me'Abba. Now Moshe and Aaron, their source is in Abba, in Chachma, therefore they drew down the clouds of honor, which are these encompassing concepts of Abba, to surround. And specifically this makif that pushes away the external. Look what's brought, and the Mamar of everything that goes on its stomach, meaning the snake, concerning the hanging ayin of Chazir Miyar, Shinikasa Mehamakif Delavona, that their nutrients, I guess, of the klippos, like the snake and the Chazir, you get from the encompassing concept of levona, the makif, which is the that gives the unika to the klippos. And therefore we can say or makif de kedusha gorem shiyuchna or hamakif de levona, that through the encompassing light of in holiness, it causes to be subjugated the encompassing light that gives to the klippos of Levona, and they won't get so much nutrients from it, because it's like the clouds that was Horig Nechashim Ve'akrabim and so forth. One was Mash V'Dorachim in front of them, So what does it mean, mashved drachim? So you have above and below, and it's mashved because it's or makif. That above and below are equal, and you have these nachashim and akrabim, which are which correspond with the levona, and it nullifies them. We can say al derech mashakaz b'siddur al pasuk yahalalu shmo b'machol. We can say, like it's brought in the siddur on the pasuk, we will praise Hashem with a dance. Chibur haor pnimi di kedusha im hor makif di kedusha monea yinika sachitzanim. That there it explains that uniting the encompassing light of holiness, the inner light of holiness with the encompassing light of holiness, that union prevents the nurturance of the chitzanim. So it's specifically to both of them, the matzah and the ananei kavod, not just the ananei kavod, the makif that is mesameinei chitzanim. And that's why Pesach Mitzrayim, it was forbidden to have chametz only the first day alone. Why? That through matzah the first night we drew down the light of Abba in an inner way, and through the clouds of honor shine the encompassing light of Abba. So it's found then that you have this union of the encompassing light with the inner light, and therefore you also won't have a nurturance from the concept of chametz. Only the first night when you don't have the ananei kavod and only the or pnimi, so then you need to have the shmira from chametz. But I guess we don't have the or makif of the ananei kavod in the same way. Perhaps we need to bring it to the Sfiras HaOmer. Perhaps I'll say B'tzarech Iyon, and this needs looking into the Beperush Rashi B'chumish Pashas Baloscha Tes Gimel Mevuar, and it needs to be looked into that in Rashi and Chumash and Baloscha it says clearly Sha Pesach Shasu Bar Basar B'chodesh Harishon B'shana Sheni Tzitzias Mitzrayim, that the Pesach that they did on the 14th day of the first month of the second year going out of Mitzrayim, Haya Iser Chametz Gamkin Shivas Yamim, they also had they were forbidden to have chametz all 7 days. Gamkin Shivas Yamim, Afal Pi Shaya Ananei Kavod, even though they did have then the clouds of honor. Al Kain Tzarech Lomar Dedavka BePesach Rishon Mitzad Shenigla Aleim Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So we must say that this is coming specifically from the first Pesach because of the revelation of the King of all Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. Val bePesach Doros Shein Ananei Kavod Makifim, but in the Pesach for all the generations that you don't have these clouds of honor that surround Rak Matzah. So that question from Rashi was parenthetical. But in general, in all the other generations, when you don't have these clouds of honor, Rak Matzah or Pnimi, and you only have the Matzah, which is this inner light, Chametz Noheges Kol Zayin Yamim. So the Chametz is forbidden all 7 days. And this is what it says. This matzah that we eat, it's for what? For what reason? Al Shem Shelo He speak lahachmitz, because it did not have time to be chametz. That is to say, this matzah that we eat all 7 days, he speak lahachmitz machmas shenigla alim hamakif ta'aba. It's because to our forefathers, it was not able to become chametz because of the makif of Abba that was revealed to them. And perhaps he's hinting here to the answer of Niglalim Melech Malchei Amlachim, that that's what caused it, and not the Ananei Kavod. And we need to eat matzah from this reason. And this is that was revealed to them, the King of all Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. Hamalachim, who are the kings? Netzachod, that's Netzachod, Malchei, of the Malchei Hamlachim, who's the kings of the Netzachot, Chagas, Melech, Bina, Melech of the Malchei Hamlachim, that's Bina, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and who's the Kadosh Baruch Hu over the Melech Malchei Hamlachim, or Abba, Bechinas Kodesh, which is the light of Abba, the concept of holy. Of Chachma, Zeu Gamkin Inyan Ad Lo Al Yedei Malachulu Elachulu, and that's also the concept of not through a Malach Saraf, but through the Holy One Blessed Be He, which I guess is also will correspond with those levels, or something similar. Haga, and the Tzemach Tzedek adds a Haga Al Pizev Shalom Mamash BePesach Sheni Matzah v'Chametz Imo B'Bayis. And according to this, we can explain how on the second Pesach you have matzah and chametz together with you in the house, why you don't have to have this Isser Chametz, the Ishlomar. We can say Kimo BePesach Mitzrayim in Chimutzo Noeg Rak Yom Echad, that it's forbidden to have chametz only the first day. Mitam Shahaya Meir Makifim de Abba, because the lights of the encompassing lights of Abba were shining. Kamokin BePesach Sheni, so too in the second Pesach, given Shekfar Achlu Kol Zayin Ayamim, since we already ate the matzah all 7 days of Pesach, Nimshach Or Abba B'chol Zayin Hamidos, so you already have the light of Abba shining in all the 7 attributes. L'chein shuv ein yinika l'chametz klal, so and then you don't have any nutrients from chametz at all anymore. I guess once you go through all the concept of the Or Pnimi as well, all the 6 days of Pesach, where it's forbidden to have chametz, you've stayed away from chametz already, so there's no more chashash. L'chein shuv ein yinika l'chametz klal, l'chein matzah v'chametz imo babayis. And therefore you have chametz matzah and chametz together with you in the house. V'afal pichein, nonetheless, al Pesach sheni atzmo al matzah sumorim yochlu davka. The second Pesach is specifically with matzah and moror as well. V'ayim b'sidr shel Rav Yaakov Emden Perush Tamacher, and look in the Siddur of Rav Yaakov Emden, he gives a different reason for it. But his words do not have enough to give a reasonable explanation. Minyan Pesach Sheni Bezor Chile Gimel Pashas Balos Chadav Kufnun Beis Amud Beis. But understanding, but to understand, but it says, I am the one and not another. The end of Nigla Alei Melech Malchei Hamlachim. So the concept of this is Al Derech Shebe Elul Vad Yom HaKippurim Azkirin Yud Gimel Midas Rachamim, is like an Elul until Yom Kippur. We mention the 13 attributes of mercy. And since over there darkness is like light, that's why Moshe asked that you should separate me and my nation from the Umos, because on that level darkness is like light. And therefore, by going out of Mitzrayim, we say that for this reason Hashem did for me, meaning for me and not for him. That is, that even on the level of Makif, it still comes specifically to us. So I guess that's the concept of Anihu v'lo acher, specifically for me and not another. Vayim b'likutei Torah b'dibur ha'maschil lahavin ma shekasu b'Haggadah matzazu v'sham paragimel. And we can say that the distinction is drawn from the inner concept of the 13 attributes of mercy, that that's where Abba gets the good oil. ורצלום מצד החיצוני שיגמול מידות שם הסיירוס עצמו מעריך אף גם לרשעים. That is, you have the chitzonis of Yud Gimel Midos and the pnimis of the Yud Gimel Midos. So the external part of the Yud Gimel Midos, which is the concept of the hairs, of so he's marich af, so he's merciful and waits even for the wicked. Ukinyan paro ha'uches ba'orif tafka, like the concept of paro that held onto the nape of the neck specifically. Osius oref, so meaning to say he would get from the Yud Gimel Midos the chitzonius. Val mitzad ha'pnimis nemar ya'er Hashem panav elecha, but concerning the internal concept of the Yud Gimel Midos, it says that Hashem will shine His countenance towards you, which I guess the Birchas Kohanim corresponds with this level as well of the Pnimis Yud Gimel Midos. Like somebody who does not have knowledge, it's forbidden to be merciful upon him. But by Amalek it says they don't have das, therefore it's forbidden to be merciful to him. You cannot get the internal concept of the Yud Gimel Midos. That specifically with das of Moshe, you get to have the internal concept of Yud Gimel Midos. And this is what it says. Also, without knowledge, a soul is not good. Gam Yisrael nikro shemen. Also, Israel is called oil. Also, the Israel is called oil, meaning the good oil of the Pnimis Yud Gimel Midos, and it's brought in Medrash Shabbat Parshas Tavo, and that Hashem will make us exalted above the other nations. So it says there also the concept of this oil, which is exactly this idea of separating us specifically, anihu v'lo acher, meaning to say specifically me and not another, that it goes to Yisrael Dafka.